So yeah, my favorite thing about Bear Paws is that the taste is... Oh, I didn't see you there. Welcome to another ARKHAM Horror List. Today we're going to be talking about the 10 best tactic cards. That's right, Travis has been replaced by Bear Paws this week, which means, again, Bryn and I, when Travis isn't here, we just rank stuff. So today we're ranking the 10 best tactic cards. We took all the tactic cards, made a short list of 15, and then cut the 5 that we thought were the worst from that, and then ordered the rest from 10 to 1. So everything on this list actually smells really good, and that's not even a sponsored comment. It's just really working for me right now. But every card on this list is actually like a very good card. I think all the cards here, they have like really good power levels, and even the ones that we didn't make that you're like, why isn't this card here, is also just like actually a legitimately good card. It's just when you only have 10 of like 50 or so, however many tactics there are, I don't know the exact number, but it's hard to... Oh my god, I need to break this. So why don't we go to our first one here, which is Elusive. This is a 2-cost event. Fast play only during your turn. Disengage from each enemy engaged with you and move to a reveal location with no enemies. Notably, this is tabooed to be an adjacent location, so if you do play the taboo list. If you don't, this card can go up really higher in value on this list as well, I think.
If you're not playing with the taboo list, this one's probably closer to like a 3 or a 2 on the list.
But like, this is with taboo in mind.
But yeah, even with taboo, this card is still fairly strong. You can kind of just ignore the game's turn.
And like it moves you anywhere as well for the untabooed version. Adjacent is also still really good.
It's still fine. Yeah, you still get like a free shortcut stapled onto your like...
You're disengaged from all enemies, yeah.
Yeah, like I've got more enemies than I think I can kill, which given that you're playing green cards, it might be none.
Yeah, that sounds about right, yeah.
No, this card is just very strong. For a long time, it was like auto-include. And then they tabooed it.
Yeah.
And then they tabooed it again. Because the first time they just made it cost XP, which, as we all know, doesn't actually fix problems. It just kind of like kicks the can down the road a little bit.
And I mean, like, if we want to get into the nitty-gritty, I'm okay with taboos for cards like Shuttlelight, which are like the payoffs to your engine. But just with value cards like this, if you want it, it's still just as good as the XP. Yeah. And like you're not like waiting for it, right? It's just like if you see it, it's like, oh, it's a value.
I mean, it was very much worth the 2.
It was, yeah.
So there was that.
This was another card that as well that I remember when we were first playing, we never really like used it.
Not, like not as much as we should have.
Yeah, and then when it was tabooed, we were like, Elusive. And then we were like, oh yeah, this card's actually kind of a banger.
Yeah, and then we started playing games without it, without access to it, and it was like, huh.
Yeah, it's like this.
I guess that was really good, wasn't it?
Yeah, and you can actually like look at it at a moment. It's very easy with Elusive being like, that's where things would really pop off. What's really cool is that like, I think they took the philosophy of Elusive and put it into cards like Nimble and stuff like that. That I think is really cool.
Allow
seeing
you to move a bunch of times.
Yeah.
No, I think that is also a better way to approach this because as is, there's a lot of campaign design that this kind of just invalidates.
Yeah.
Where you show up and they're like, you got to get out of the collapsing temple, and you're like, done.
Yeah. Yeah, especially the untabooed version. It's insane, right?
Yeah, right.
Like, yeah, it's...
The tabooed version is like entirely fair.
Yeah. Yeah.
Still strong, but fair.
Yeah. All right, on to number 9 here. We got Marksmanship. This is a 2-cost, 1 experience event. Fast play when you activate the fight ability on a firearm or ranged asset. This attack can target an enemy at a connecting location. Ignore the aloof and retaliate keywords for this attack. If this attack succeeds against an enemy not engaged with you, the attack deals +1 damage.
Sometimes you gotta go and shoot whippoorwills for far more damage than you need to. But more often than not, you just get to shoot, like you can target an elite enemy with this, which usually you're not allowed to do when you fight from a location away. And the +1 damage is that's like anytime that there's a free vicious blow, I'm kind of like, all right, what do I have to do to get it?
It piques your interest, yeah.
Like what exactly are we asking for? 2 money's a little steep, but you know, free shortcut of not having to go to a place to get something. It's pretty all right.
And it can come in clutch more than you expect it to.
There's a lot of investigators. Like if you're playing a gun-oriented Zoe Samaras build, and you get your weakness and you get an enemy halfway across the map, you don't have to move quite so much to get to it, and not so much to get back to where you were before.
I think as well, this card is going to go up in value a little bit with the new Elusive keyword in Hemlock Vale. Because you can attack an enemy, it can move away from you.
Yeah, then you can shoot him while he's running away.
Yeah, right, so I think there's some of that as well.
Yeah, you might also be able to like ping a guy into moving into a location that you don't care about anymore. I don't know. I haven't actually seen any of this stuff because I would like to play the campaign without knowing what the cards do.
Yeah, same. I actually know nothing about Hemlock Vale.
No, but I think this card has there's a lot of unique weaknesses in combat-oriented characters that this card is very strong against. And anytime you go to kill an aloof guy, like, I don't know, maybe some sort of man in a pallid mask.
Yep, definitely. Yep.
He's got 3 hit points, so this gets you over that bump on like most normal guns.
Yep.
If you're using big, like
if you're using big guns, it is more exciting.
This gets kind of comical, but
I actually would love to. There's actually like when I see a card like Marksmanship, which admittedly isn't a card that I think about often because I'm too boring and I just like I wanna when I build a fighter I'm like I swing my machete and I cut person up and I use other tricks with it, but like I want to do this with a shotgun. I've been building a lot of Nathaniel Cho decks that use guns instead of boxing gloves, and this seems really fun for that. You know, like just shoot a gun and deal some extra damage on top of it, right? I think there's a lot of cool things here to explore that also supports the firearm, and also now the range thing with that new strong-armed card. Yeah, which should, once again, work with guns. It should, but it doesn't. But it still works with ranged assets, so like you can do some really cool stuff with like Schizo Tool, working with the new British Bulldog and the bow as well, which I think would be really cool to explore.
Yeah, this one it lives like as low as it does on the list because it has a very limited use case. Like you can't use it without firearms or ranged assets. But when you can use it, this card is very strong.
Yep, definitely. All right, number 8, we got Counter Punch. This is a 0 cost, 2 experience event. This is the level 2 version in specific. Fast, play when an enemy attacks you before resolving that attack. Fight, this attack targets the attacking enemy. You get +2 fist and deal +1 damage for this attack, excuse me.
I always forget that this happens before they attack you. I think it's just kind of good.
Yeah.
There's not a whole lot of investment that goes into putting this in your deck. It's pretty much the 2 XP. Because you don't really need economy to make this work.
Nope.
And it's just damage.
I think this is like one of those things, too, that I imagine a lot of people play this only in Nat Show and they call it a day, right? But this is actually a great supplement for firearm decks as well. Because I think that generally firearm decks do better when you are not relying on just your guns. Guardians have a lot of ways to use, as we call them here, kill spells, right? Like it's like, you know, you're killing something with an event card to take advantage of the fact that you don't need to spend your ammo all the time on things. It also allows you to be a bit more reckless, which I really like. When an event gives you the ability to not always have to just follow the same plan and be able to take some risks, I think cards like that will lead to you winning more than you would be playing with otherwise.
Yeah, this one, like, you can provoke an attack to move and then kill a weak enemy.
Yeah.
You can also use it as insurance to be like, oh, this guy's got 6 health and I can do 6 damage to him with my 3 actions, but like, what if I miss once?
Yep.
Then, you know, you just punch him and he dies. Hopefully. Hopefully, always, right?
And what I think what this card also does is, I'm going to present an interesting challenge to everybody here. Where can you kill a boss enemy with just survival knife 2s and counter punches? That's what I want to see. They attack you once and you just take them out? Now we're talking. That sounds like a fun time.
Play true solo, so like most of them only have like 6 or 7 hit points.
And just like hold your survival knife and 2 counter punches for the boss and then just like, all right, it's you and me, brother. I'm going to kill you in the enemy phase. Yeah. Number 7 we got here is Fool Me Once. This is a 1 cost, 1 experience event. Fast, play when you discard a treachery card after resolving any of its effects. Put Fool Me Once to play in your play area and attach that treachery to it. As a reaction, when an investigator draws a copy of the attached treachery, discard Fool Me Once and cancel that card's revelation effect.
Yeah, so notably the reaction effect is not forced, so you get to pick which time you would like to do this. Sometimes it's best just to leave the card attached to Fool Me Once and not shuffled back into the deck. Because then you never have to see it again.
Yep.
Depends what it is. There's like, some encounter sets are more dangerous than others. But sometimes you just get to throw this at like an Ancient Evils, and it stops the next Ancient Evils. That's fine. It also hangs on to the other one, so if the deck gets reshuffled, there's one less Ancient Evils in there and stops basically 2 Ancient.
Yeah. Yeah, it's especially nice, like, I mean, you hit the third one, and then you get the reshuffle, and you block one of them, so there's only actually one left in the deck. Also really good on cards that, like, are the bane of Guardians. Stuff like, for example, Hunting Shadow, which is, like, spend a clue or take 2 damage.
Yep.
This is a good way to just be like, this is for me. I'm not taking another 2 damage. You can spend your clue next time.
You can even throw this at cards like Realm of Torment or Frozen in Fear.
Yep.
You do have to discard them by testing them first, but that is resolving one of their effects. So you can just have this hang on to one of them and draw less of them as the deck reshuffles.
Yeah.
Or not draw one.
Yeah, and like... this was a little bit funny, too, because, like, while it still feels weird to commit a Ward of Protection, I wouldn't feel as weird about a Fool Me Once, because it's like sometimes you just, like, might not see the treachery, and at a certain point you're just like, I'm going to use this. I'm going to use this here.
Yeah, Fool Me Once also doesn't stop the first time.
Yes.
Nothing happens.
Yes.
It just stops them later.
Yeah. But, I mean, like, it still is Mythos Mitigation, which is still a very powerful effect.
Yeah, it's also, because it's a tactic, you can slot it underneath your stick to the plan and just always have access to it.
Yep.
Every game when you want it.
Yeah, that's actually like true for like a lot of these, especially like the like.
For all of them,
but I mean, like looking back at Marksmanship too. That's a very easy one of. Even a Counterpunch is a very easy one of that you can put under your stick to the plan to just really take advantage of it. Yeah. Yeah,
because you usually only have like 2-ish cards that you actually need to put under.
And then your third one is just like my one of. Yeah.
What are we getting spicy with?
Yeah. What's my little stick to the plan tech card that I'm playing with today? All right, on to number 6, which is I've Got a Plan, and I'm going to stick to it. This is a 2-cost, 2-experience event. Fight. This attack uses Book instead of Fist. You get +2 Book for this test. You may deal +1 damage to this attack. For each clue you have, max +3 damage.
+3 damage is a lot of damage.
It's a lot of damage.
Like 4 damage from an attack is more damage than yellow should be able to do.
With that said, though, there's a lot of things that I enjoy about this card as a yellow kill spell. One is that it's kind of like been in the game from day 1 for the level 0 version, so it's kind of just like normal to me that like clues equal damage. It's a one-shot effect that can equal damage. It also like isn't the level 0 version is cost 3, which I think is actually pretty expensive, and you also don't get any boost. This stops a lot of those weaknesses, but it does cost 2 experience. But it's a great like flex card, or if you're like like a Guardian Goon, like a Roland Banks or a Joe Diamond, I think you can have a lot of real fun with this card.
Yep, even if you're just playing like a Michael Lee deck.
Yep.
Which admittedly is often one of those two.
Yes, yeah.
That's a separate thing.
I mean, you did it with Mark Harrigan once, and you could technically not do it with this one, but you could do it with the level 0 version if you're feeling exceptionally spicy, but...
Yeah, I'm not that crazy.
So, like, it's actually kind of interesting, right? Because the level 0 version also caps out at 3,
like
right?
It does the same amount of damage, but it doesn't give you a bonus to your book.
Yeah, so, like...
Which makes it much harder to actually make use of it against an enemy that you might care to do 3 or 4 damage to.
Yeah. So, like, while it's crazy to see this damage from a Seeker, it is a lot of damage the Seeker can come from, you are paying 2 experience for 1 less cost, another icon, and +2 book. But you put all these things together and you actually have a very powerful kill event that you can do a lot of cool damage with. And it feels great as a Seeker to just like, here, I'm going to help with this enemy. Again, it goes back to my point, like if everyone was rolling banks, ARKHAM would be a much better place. And this is like kind of filling that niche, right? Where
yeah, I mean, ARKHAM like might be a better place, but also like the Circle Undone would be impossible.
Yeah, it would be pretty damn hard, yeah. On to number 5, which is a personal favorite of mine. We got Sweeping Kick. This is a 1-cost, 1-experience event. Fight, add your foot to your skill value for this attack. This attack deals +1 damage. If you succeed, automatically evade the attacked enemy. Hey, do you know what's a really good skill card? Stunning Blow, because as an attack, it evades the enemy. This does that for you. The evading the enemy is some really hot tech. You're probably getting +2 from your foot more often than not. unless you're someone weird like Leo.
Yeah, but then don't you got allies?
But even then,
you don't want to play events.
But even then, I've done it as Leo, because if you just get like two B cops out there, there's your foot.
Your number's still big.
Your number's still, but it's probably not the right choice. That's because like for a long period, I was actually like putting sweeping kick in anyone who can run it. The card just has like so much value in one card. It does so much.
Yeah, it also has 3 relevant traits, which is like pretty okay.
It does that.
And automatically evading the attacked enemy. I wish there was some sort of consistency as to whether you could do this to an elite enemy or not, so that you would just know. But this one does hit elite enemies.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, no, it is kind of a shame that they like their consistency changed from like it seems like they decided with the Trish change. Like that was like when we're like, okay, we're gonna make it because Trish can do it testlessly, right? Without a test. And then this one, you need a test. And same with Stunning Blow, you need a test. But
yeah, I wouldn't mind if that was the line.
Yeah, but it's
like no test,
yeah,
no evading elite enemies with this.
So they just have to like going forward. Hopefully, they stick to that line as they seem to be implying. We'll see. We have to see.
That would not be a bad thing.
Yeah, consistency makes it easier to understand the rules because you can kind of
read my cards. I just.
Yeah, you just kind of like
assume I know what they do.
You look. I mean, I
understand that this is a me problem,
but at the same time, it's also an Arkham problem. You can't put all the blame on you, Bryn.
Well,
I mean, because I don't do it either, so I have to blame the game too. Otherwise, I start to punish myself. Yeah, card's just really good. Value on value. Evading a boss while fighting it is very powerful. All right, number 4. We got 1-2 punch, level 5. It commits for 4 fist icons. Let's just respect that for a second. They could have put one more on there just to like make it really, really fun.
Yeah, why not? You know.
Yeah, like come on. It's 5 experience. There should be 5 fists. Fight. You automatically succeed and deal +1 damage for this attack. You may fight again. You get +3 fist and deal +2 damage for that attack. So if you don't commit anything to this, this card is dealing what 5 damage? Yes.
Yeah.
Which is a lot.
5 is a lot of damage. If you got a stunning blow, it automatically evades the enemy because you just committed to the first fight.
Yep.
Where you can't fail.
Yep. If you could have a vicious blow, you put it on the first one, and you are now dealing free damage. It's pretty good.
There's a lot of things that can be good with this one.
Yes. There's the new card too in Survivor, the brick, right? Someone can throw a brick from like you're punching someone, they're throwing a brick from a location over to hit that guy.
Yeah, I mean that's like pretty like end of the 90s WWE.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Man, oh my god, someone just threw a brick at Mankind.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah. It is expensive experience-wise. We're not going to sit around for a second and pretend that 5 experience is not like an easy amount of experience.
Yeah.
You
need to know that you want this.
Yeah, and you might be saying, but I could buy a Cyclopean Hammer for that.
That's
and
boring.
You can, but a Cyclopean Hammer is boring. I mean, I agree completely. But it's also not a tactic. So
yeah, that's true. It's not on the list.
It's not on the list. Not a tactic. Yeah. But this card is worth it. I've seen it. I've actually played it recently in a Sister Mary deck, and it was insane. And I've seen it recently in a Nat Cho deck, which is obviously also very insane.
6 damage is more than 5. You
can
tell
because the number.
Because you need a second hand to count it.
Yeah. What if I was like, I don't, and this one was actually 6 fingers? That'd be great.
This is where we find out that Justin's like polydactyl.
Card is really good though, and it feels great, and it just that automatic success to be able to commit all your things. It's kind of like toe to toe, which didn't make it because
you have to get hit.
Yeah, it scales out as the game goes for most investigators. Some people it stays, but not for everybody. All right, on to our top 3. Our first one here is Shortcut, a 0-cost seeker event. Fast play only during your turn. Choose an investigator location. Move that investigator to a connecting location.
So the thing that puts this into the top 3 for me is not the, wow, I can use this to move myself for free. It's the, I can use this to move anybody for free. Outside of the turn cycle. There's a lot of, not degenerate per se, things you can do when you get to move somebody not on their turn. But there's, they're maybe not entirely fair either. They also like bring all the any enemies they've got engaged with them, along for the ride.
Yep.
There's a lot of there's a lot of good here for a level 0 costed event.
Yep. No action either. It's just like, it's like zeros all the way down. In addition, it's kind of like, Shortcut to me kind of lives in the same space as Overpowers and like Perceptions, where they're technically like not actually in my deck. Well, Shortcut doesn't replace itself. I generally like don't wait on my shortcuts. It's just like the first moment.
You just burn it the first time that there is a chance
Yeah.
to use it for advantage.
Yeah, because it's just like, it's just the value is so easy to get. Moving sucks, and like not having to spend an action on moving is really nice. And then in addition to, it's just like, especially if you're able to like cycle through your deck, the more you can use shortcut, it becomes even better. It's kind of just like pretty wild. Yeah. Because you always want to move. Like, unless you're playing horror and high gear, like one of the few scenarios where like Essex, but even in Essex, you want like a free move can mean the difference between life and death.
Somebody else
Yeah.
is like the part that's insane there, where
Yep.
you can like get all the clues so that you can move to the next train car.
But before you do, you
Spoilers
kick
for
someone
a
in.
Scenario that came out years ago.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, you can kick someone in before
you can like
yeah.
have somebody else go who's got a good book score to get all the clues, and
Yeah.
then you can shove them ahead of you. And then
Yeah. Or alternatively, like there's, I mean, we're getting deep into the nitty gritty of Essex here, which I don't want to, but you can also use like in MOBAs, as I learned from Travis and Bryn, sometimes you like face check things, like you get in there, someone face checks, you're good, so you can send someone else with shortcut to face check threats for you.
Yeah, they don't even get a say,
No, you're just like go in there.
because this does not give them the option.
I mean, like, yeah, you see, like, even there's like an enemy in that location, you send in your goon before you, and then you're like, okay, you're holding that, now I'm gonna come in and do my stuff.
We've played some rather silly decks where we did some kind of stupid things with shortcut and what's it called?
Safeguard?
Safeguard,
Yeah.
Built a mecha
Like a Roland,
Roland, if
to
you
move
will.
in as a group.
And we were just shoving the mecha Roland around the map.
Yeah, it was pretty
pretty
good.
okay.
Yeah. All right, let's go to our number 2 card here, which I think is an absolute banger, and that is Act of Desperation. This is a 0-cost event that commits for 2 fists for some reason. Like, that's just like really good. The card wasn't good enough. As initial cost to play Act of Desperation, choose and discard an item asset that takes up at least 1 hand slot from your hand or play area. Fight, you get +X fist and deal +1 damage with its attack, where X is the chosen asset's printed resource cost. And then, if that wasn't enough, if you succeed and that asset was in your play area, you also gain X resources.
Yeah, this one's a banger because you're going to take the thing you have in play and you're going to bang them with it.
Yeah. This card's wild for a level 0 card.
It is actually kind of nuts.
Yeah.
Like, the amount of money that you can get back out of this is maybe not quite right.
It's not quite right.
Like, not strong enough that it's like, well, that's clearly broken.
Yeah, no,
It's
like,
just like a little bit like.
If they tabooed this, I think this card, like, even to 1 experience, I think this card would be like, its play rate would drop to like 0%.
Yeah, like I don't think it's broken enough to need.
No.
It's not actually broken at all, really.
No.
It's just like on that line of like, well, maybe this is like almost too good, but
like,
not really.
Like realistically,
Not really.
I think if this costs like 1 or 2 resources, you're still like positive in a lot of ways that people would still play it. But at 0, it's a bargain. Like, this is such a good card to play in your gun decks because you're in your
no bullets. The gun doesn't do anything.
The gun doesn't do anything, so you might as well turn it into damage
and then the money to buy.
to buy the next one.
It's kind of nuts.
And it's especially fun with the Thompson, the Guardian Thompson, that gives you ammo for the bullets, and you're basically like, your gun is turned into like a frickin' the dividends on it are insane. It's a great card.
All right. Don't tell Travis, but like one of these days I'm gonna bring a versatile deck so that I can play this with like the Thompson.
Okay.
The 6-costed Thompson and like the big money payoff cards at a green.
Oh, let's go.
Like it's gonna be so bad.
No, it's gonna be great.
Because we're never gonna find any of the cards that we need because our deck's gonna be too big.
But hear me out, okay? Like, let's go back and revisit. I mean, he doesn't need help, but like, you make it janky, or like change it so like versatile and in skids, right, to do the big gun, or just take that Tony Joey the Rat deck and then just like put Well Connected in and all the big money cards, but then also play Act of Desperation to get it going.
I mean, we could play Act of Desperation without Versatile Intoning.
Exactly, right? Like you could just like go for it.
Just play as long as we're just playing with like green guns.
Yeah.
We're fine.
Yeah.
No, this card is like kind of crazy.
It's very good. It's very fun to play with too.
Obviously, you don't want to play with it if you're playing like a Cyclopean Hammer deck, because Cyclopean Hammer is boring, and you can't just throw it at people for advantage. Because why would you? You could just swing it at them.
I mean, it does kind of seem okay, but like paint this picture, all right, everybody, you ready for this? It's like there's a boss. Your rogue has invaded it. You use your Cyclopean Hammer, you hit it, you get your 3 damage. You Act of Desperation it, play another Cyclopean Hammer, and then hit it for that extra damage again. Boss is dead. Boom.
It could work.
It's just so you just need 2 Cyclopean Hammers. You need to be in a position where someone's never mind.
It could work.
All right, I think we need to go out with a bang with our number 1 tactic card, which is Dynamite, the level 3 version, because it's just the biggest.
It's just the biggest, coolest one.
It's just the biggest, coolest one. It's also 4 cost, 3 experience. The level 0 version is 5 cost. The level 2 version is 4 cost. The level 3 version becomes fast. Play during any lightning bolt window.
Yeah, the level 2 version might also not provoke an attack of opportunity.
Maybe, yeah, maybe.
I'm not sure about that part though.
No.
So like, check my work or whatever.
Yeah. But what it does is you choose either your location or connected location, deal 3 damage to each enemy and investigator at the chosen location.
You read that right, folks. You can kill your friends with this, and they can only get a little bit mad at you.
I mean, if it's killing more things and if they aren't dying, they should let you do it. Sometimes it's the right choice to blow up your friends with dynamite.
Sometimes you get to blow up your friends for advantage.
So what's sick about Dynamite Blast level 3 version, apart from being the biggest version of Dynamite Blast, is that it's playing during any lightning bolt window.
Yeah, so like after hunter enemies have moved.
Yep. Like
Sure,
if things are chasing you.
Because like maybe they're in the same location now because they weren't before.
And that you actually have a lot of control about how hunter enemies can move in a lot of maps, that you can put these into the perfect thing. Slight spoilers for Innsmouth in the Into Deep scenario. You have like a grid map where it's like 5x3 or something like that. And like there's a lot of enemies, and you can gather up the enemies in a way that you can really take advantage of with a big old stick of dynamite.
Yeah, plus like they all do something when they engage you.
Yeah, so you can just like stop that.
They can't do if they engage you if you
blow them up. Yeah. What I also really like about Dynamite Blast that pushes it up even higher for these other ones to me is the fact that while any Guardian can play it and do really well, it really thrives in like the support Guardians who are there to support the team, or even like Carolyn Fern where you're getting clues, but you're also just like getting money, so you might as well also play a Dynamite Blast, which I think is some really cool, like how the card sits in the card pool, which is I think really exciting.
No, this one's just on the top of the list for me because I've never not been excited to see somebody play it.
Oh, hell yeah.
Like every time someone plays it, it's like, oh fuck yeah, Dynamite Blast, let's go.
And it's always really impressive. Like it always just like does exactly what it says on the tin, which is blow the fuck out of your threats.
Yeah, unfortunately this doesn't work as well against like hidden enemies or whatever they're called.
The concealed enemies,
as it should, because like if they're hiding in a storefront and I blow up the store.
Yeah. No. They were up too high.
Yeah,
I mean, like
the building.
Can I be real? Like that art is more than 3 damage.
Like, I mean, so like this is like 3 damage in like Call of Cthulhu.
Yeah, okay, that's fair.
Where you're like, 3 damage, hey?
Yeah, where I suppose
that's
like getting shot is only 2 damage. Right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's fair.
This is 3 damage from Call of Cthulhu.
Yeah.
But yeah, in this game, this should probably do more than 3 damage. I understand why it doesn't, because otherwise it'd have to cost a lot more XP or money or whatever. Yeah. You'd never actually use it.
Dude, this card's like, I mean, like, I love as well that, like, even if your back is against the wall and you can survive the Dynamite Blast, but it's going to put you in a bad position, but you're going to kill, like, 3 enemies, you're like, fuck it, we ball, and you blow yourself up.
No, I really enjoy playing with, like, I'll See You in Hell.
Yep.
This is way better than that. Unless you're playing I'll See You in Hell for the purpose of discarding it for 2 fist icons, in which case 0 XP is better than 3 XP.
Yes, yeah. All right, well, those are our 10 best tactic cards. Let us know what you think the best tactic cards are down in the comments. But other than that, we will see you all for the next list video, which, as always, is going to be next Thursday until either, I die or we think of something else to do on Thursdays. Or we run out of list videos, which might happen one day. But I mean, you'll know it is when we start going back to the whole ranking the tarot cards twice videos. That was always, when we're having a little bit of a what do we do?
Yeah, when we start running some of like the April Fools or Valentine's videos, but like it's not April.
It's not April Fools or Valentine's.
Then we're running on fumes.
I still have my next desperate when I don't have any other ideas is ranking the Edge of the Earth partners. That's the next one. That's like the next one.
Man, Dogman to the moon.
When that video comes out on the channel, you'll know that I did not have a good list video idea for that week. So we'll see you all soon. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a good one, and as always, a GG's.